Welcome to the Participation Requirements training. Today, we will be providing you with information on how the participation requirements and activities are calculated with program participants. This presentation will provide commonly used terms, different types of activities, who must be assigned, how many hours different families are assigned, when issued cash benefits, and referred to the program. During today's discussion, we will be reviewing and discussing work activity requirements for the all-family rate, the two-parent rate, and the activity requirements for teens and minors. Let's start off with work activities for the all-family sector. For those with a child under 6, the requirement is 20 hours core weekly, which amounts to 87 hours monthly. If the family has no child under 6 years of age, then the requirement is 30 hours weekly, which comes out to be about 130 monthly. The first 20 hours per week must be in core activity, and the additional hours to meet minimum participation may be in core or core plus. For the two-parent households, the participation requirement would be 35 hours without child care or 55 hours if utilizing child care. The core activity requirement will still be at least 20 hours weekly, and the additional hours can be completed in core or core plus to meet the participation. If the family chooses for one parent to complete all hours for both parents, that will be allowed. Teen parents and minor parents must attend high school or GED classes if not already obtained. This can be done by attending a secondary school or GED classes. They must demonstrate satisfactory attendance and progress in the courses assigned. The parent may also choose to participate in education related to employment for a minimum of 20 hours weekly to fulfill the requirement. For the two-parent families that are considered teens or minors, both must be engaged in one of the requirements discussed. Let's begin to discuss the core and core plus activities to be sure we understand how hours are assigned in the program. Core activities are assigned first at 20 or more hours per week. Core plus activities can be any additional hours assigned to meet federal, state, and regional participation requirements. Core activities are as follows: unsubsidized employment, subsidized employment, OJT, job search, job readiness, work experience, community service, vocational training, and providing child care for a participant conducting community service in the program. Let's discuss core activities individually. Unsubsidized employment is full or part-time employment in the public or private sector that is not subsidized by any public program, including TANF. It includes self-employment and may include domestic work, child care, and even benefits for services rendered, such as rent. Subsidized employment is employment for which the employer receives a subsidy from public funds to offset some or all of the wages and costs of employing the individual. On-the-job training is training in the public or private sector that is given to a paid employee while engaged in productive work, providing knowledge and skills needed for the job. Job search and job readiness can actually be split into two different activities, but will count as one in OSST. Let's take a look. Job search is when the individual is actually seeking or obtaining employment. Job readiness is preparing to seek or obtain employment, which can include life skills training and other workshops or treatment classes that are geared towards employment. Work experience is a work activity that is performed in return for welfare that provides the individual with an opportunity to acquire the general skills, training, knowledge, and work habits needed for employment, both public and private. Community service programs are structured programs in which TANF recipients perform work for a direct benefit of the community under public or nonprofit organizations. Education, environmental protection, health, social services, welfare, recreation, and many others must be designed to improve the employability of individuals participating. Vocational training is an organized educational training program related to the preparation of individuals for employment in current or emerging occupations requiring training other than a bachelor's or advanced degree. This training must be vocational in nature and is limited to programs giving knowledge and skills to perform a specific occupation. Participation counts for those providing child care for an individual engaged in community service and participating in the TANF program. Only hours the individual is engaged in the community service count for the hours in this activity. Now let's look at the non-core activities that are included in the program. They include job skills training, education directly related to employment, and secondary school or GED programs. Job skills training directly related to employment is training for job skills required to provide an individual with the ability to obtain employment or advance or adapt to the changing demands of the workplace. May include literacy training and ESOL. Education directly related to employment is education that is related to a specific occupation or job offer and can also include basic education and ESOL as well. When assigning secondary school or GED regular attendance, in accordance with the requirements of the secondary school or course of study, at a secondary school or in a program leading to a GED, the participant must also meet satisfactory attendance and satisfactory progress. There are limitations to several activities. For example, job search, job readiness can be no more than 6 weeks per federal fiscal year and no more than 4 weeks consecutive to count towards participation rates. Vocational training can be no more than 12 months or 365 days in a lifetime, and subsidized employment no more than 6 months at any site. In addition to the time limits on some activities, there are daily supervision requirements also for most activities such as job search, job readiness, community service programs, vocational activities, child care for an individual in a community service, job skills training, education related to employment, and GED. Deeming hours is allowable if the individual is participating in work experience or community service and the calculation of hours is less than 20 hours. Hours are then completed and the individual is deemed to have met the core hours. We can also project actual hours of employment or OJT for up to 6 months at a time based on prior documented actual hours of work. Disabled individuals on TANF caseloads are capable of participating in productive work activities and deserve an opportunity to become self-sufficient through work. Under the TANF statute, such families are included in the work participation rate calculation. All individuals referred to the program, regardless of limitations, should be encouraged to participate in the program to meet participation and benefit from the support services that may be offered. When looking at the two-parent cases that have one disabled work-eligible individual, will not be considered a two-parent family for participation purposes. The DCF case should also be coded ADCI from ADCU to remove the family from the calculation process. Participation in unpaid work activities may include excused absences for hours missed due to holidays and a maximum of an additional 10 days of excused absences in any 12-month period, no more than 2 per month. Self-employment can be used by dividing income by minimum wage for the hours used. Work-eligible individuals are adults receiving assistance and non-recipient parents living with a child receiving assistance. For example, sanctioned parents receiving through a protective payee. There are some exclusions to the work-eligible status. For example, SSI recipients, work-eligible parent providing care for a disabled family member living in the household who is not attending school full-time, minor parents not head of households, and illegal aliens. This concludes our session of the Participation Requirements presentation. We hope that you have found added knowledge about participation requirements for individuals referred to the WT program. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us to discuss further. Today's presentation was created and voiced by Cheryl Goebel. Thank you and enjoy your day.